What is up, everyone? Today is going to be the 1 year anniversary. By the time I release this video, it's going to be 1 year anniversary of me uploading my first video, which was 2024 Nationals. So let's first talk about where I've gone with YouTube. It started off with Charlie Ellison, who vlogged for 2023 Nats, which was my freshman year. And then after that, I've also started seeing more videos from Kyle Millis and Marcos Rico Payne. Marcos, who's like a software engineer training for the Olympics. Wow, that's quite a lot. And then there's other club swimmer called Will Two, who's from Santa Clara. Shares a lot in common with me because we're both Chinese. We both love swimming butterfly, aka sprint butterfly. And yes, he is a lot faster than me, but it's fine. And he doesn't even swim two fly, unlike me. So, well, there you go. I then vlogged 2024 Nats. It's pretty good success, and since then I decided, hey, let's just turn this into a YouTube video. And today, here we are with 40 subscribers and 33 videos, with much more to come. Yeah. There's been a lot of stuff that I've come to realize here in college and during my time, like here in college and during this past year. Some stuff is mainly this past year, but other stuff is like during my entire college time. One big thing I learned back then was, well, I'm not exactly a party goer. Yes, I'll go to parties once in a while, but I don't have much fun. I'm not a drinker at all. Like I'm more of as much of an abstainer as like people in Saudi Arabia, literally. Yes, because it just doesn't taste good, you know. Like alcohol doesn't taste good, and you can just get into various different trouble with the law, problems with the law. So why do it? And I've also learned that, hey, maybe despite being like an East major and what you might think of me as like an absolute computer nerd, not. I wouldn't exactly consider myself that. Especially after this past year, like overall with classes, I just didn't exactly see anything. Couldn't exactly find the material that I was learning. Like it didn't feel that interesting to me. Like I could see why it's interesting to some people, but it just wasn't exactly my thing. And it took me a while to realize that because some people just say the beginning is a grind, but I just couldn't exactly see I just can't exactly like envision myself like working at Meta despite it's like a very high salary. I can't exactly envision myself working there in the long term. Along with the fact that the tech market has gone kind of bad after 2022. So yeah, there's other parts of me that's still what you would consider a nerd. I am like I still like solving math problems from back then. I am on CS70 core staff, which is like the the nerdiest thing you could be, I guess. But yeah, I'm a but there's also other aspects. I am a big climate kind freak. I love seeing the different patterns, especially within California, because you got a very diverse range of climates here in California, and even just within the Bay Area alone. And I just also realized that, that especially after my trip to London, that I don't really like museums, and I'd rather prefer national parks, being outdoors. And yes, one last thing, I really love swimming, and you'll see why. This past year, there's also just been a lot of stuff in the world that's kind of sucked. Well, one being Trump is elected, and this just raises a question: why are Americans voting for somebody who's a literal felon? Yes, you heard that right. A literal criminal is getting being put in the highest, given the most power in our country. Big tech, and that has also been spurred by the fact that, well, big tech is moving right. You know, Zuckerberg, even liberal CEOs like Zuckerberg are moving right. Elon Musk has literally been a senior advisor and probably has had as much power as Trump, literally like firing all those Fed workers. Like, yes, there is bloat in the government, but you can't just fire all these workers like that, and just the renaming of a bunch of places like Denali becoming Mount McKinley and Gulf of Mexico literally becoming Gulf of America. It's right there on Google Maps. Like, why is this happening? Anyone? Yeah. This is called America becoming imperialist, and why a lot of other countries are probably going to hate us in the near future, including Canada, which is the country I was born in, and why if you see me, I won't wear a USA cap and I will just wear my Canadian cap instead. Swimming. Now here we get to the fun part with swimming. Yes. So this past time, during these past couple of years in college club swimming, like a lot of swimmers, they come to college club, they swim really well in high school, but afterwards, they for some reason they're well, not for some reason, they it's like, well, we don't have enough time anymore. We don't get much time to train, and we're not as fast as before. But for me, I've realized, hey, hey, what's stopping me from getting faster? Just because I don't have a coach? No, it's my own will. Like, I myself have set personal bests in all butterfly events and a 50 and one free with just myself and race videos to guide me. Like, that might sound crazy, but I've literally set PBs. This is even in a 200 fly, which where I somehow beat the time that I set at, like, tapered, suited, and all locked in. Yes, I really mean it. I'm faster now in a two fly than I was in high school at my peak. But I've also seen much more than just, times. Like, yes, I love to go fast, and I hope to probably go even faster next year, like the 4x1 medley relay. That'd be great. But there's so much more than just what happens in that time frame. Swim club has just brought me like all these good memories, like the people there, the socials, and just all the and the inclusivity of like the officers. Like these officers, like our leadership is just absolutely great, but they're also just really kind to us and always trying to help us get to Nats. Joaquin is setting up all these time trials just to help us, vlogging, swim club stories, like all that, like that opportunity. Like, I now have a plot that I can make with these. I can tell a story with such videos and not just do it for fun, like for real. Later, several years down the road, I can come back to look at it and I can just kind of see my thoughts of what is happening during such a time. And now let's talk about next year. Since I've already talked about all of what's happened before, let's look forward because that's what we got to do. There's going to be a lot of people graduating this next year. Ben, Melissa, who's literally like the queen of swim club, probably the best person you'll ever meet within the club. Also, Ramin, Beatrix, Soren, Jack, Amanda. There's just a lot of people there, which means, and there's probably others that I don't really interact with as much, but they're just as great, Which means swim club needs new leadership. So, and I just believe, and it's not because I want to just take a position for the sake of taking one, but because I just want to give back, to swim club. And there's two ways I feel like I can do this. One is media chair. Yes, I actually have a rap myself. So I feel like that could be a pretty good boost to swim club to the swim club page. I probably get to continue what I'm already doing, called vlogging. And then on the other hand, I've been wondering about this since freshman year. Should I someday go into exec positions within a club? Maybe become VP, everyone? I personally have objections, and part of my role on this is to actually be truthful to myself and not just and not just promote like the good things that is often done by a lot of influencers. And and I'm going to list out my own objections. One, like compared to Joaquin, I'm not as aggressive or outgoing as him. Like mm, like like Joaquin is a kind of guy who will literally like I remember at Nats when he literally was arguing with the refs about our relay DQs. And me personally, like just thinking about it, like why I feel like the refs did have some justification if they're calling the DQs because you only call DQs when you're sure. If you're not sure, you can't call it, even if it's later revealed that they did. And I'm also a nerd, so despite the fact that I am in swim club and having fun with everyone, and it's just a huge role, where everyone's just kind of looking up to you. So at the end of the day, do I want to run? Yes, but on the other hand, I want what matters more to me is what's best for this club. If you guys decide I'm best for swim to lead swim club, and then go ahead vote for me. If not, then probably vote for someone else or who you think is the best for me. But thank you all. I hope you enjoyed watching this. More good stuff and yes, more good stuff is going to be coming out. Maybe I might do some coaching videos, day in the life, and maybe even a challenge with some cow swimmers or who knows. A lot of good stuff I can do. But anyways, that's kind of it for this talk. I don't want this to go on too long. Thank you for watching. See you next time.